Hi Capricorn, welcome to your November 2019 Astrology 33 bonus love reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, just check out the description of the video for all the information you need there. Alright, as far as what we have in front of us, this is a spread that I call the Bridging the Gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side here represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. And then these are the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through those, we'll actually try to pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. All right, so all that out of the way. Oh, and also, before I forget, decks being used. On the left side, we have the Lover's Path Tarot. On the right side, we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. All right, so starting with your past energy toward the connection, we have the 10 of coins and the 10 of arrows. So this is the equivalent of the 10 of pentacles and 10 of swords. So pretty big contrast in energies there. So this could be playing out a few different ways. One way this could be playing out could be saying that this might have been a long-term relationship that you had with this person and you might have ended it. Another way this could be playing out though is to say that you might have been putting in a lot of work toward the connection to build up the stability of the connection. And then in the past, you might have actually stopped doing that. So that's what the 10 of arrows could represent there, because that's a Gemini card and that's your 6th house. So the thought that comes to mind with that with me is that you stop putting in the work, right? That's another way it could play out. And this could also just be saying that maybe you might have ended the connection around the time of Gemini. Or for some of you, could be the other way around, where I was saying that you might have communicated the ending at the time of Virgo, because then this could represent communicating, and then this actually represents Virgo. So definitely Gemini or Virgo, there could have been an ending there. But what stands out to me a little bit about this particular 10 of Pentacles more than others is, to me, it makes me think of a vision of what the connection could be versus what it actually is, because I look at the way it's like they're opening out, looking out the window, basically, and seeing all the fertility out there and thinking, okay, this could really be a promising connection. And then there could have just been an end to that viewpoint, basically. Past energy on their side is the Knight of Wands. So this is actually technically a Sagittarius energy. So this could be who you're dealing with. But also this might have been just the energy that this person was bringing to the connection. And that might have been why you stopped seeing long-term potential in them. Because the Knight of Wands energy can be a bit flighty. They are someone who, they might be here today, gone tomorrow. So maybe for a while you were seeing long-term potential with this person, but then maybe you started to realize that this was a bit of the energy that they were bringing across, and then that might have made you reconsider with that 10 of Swords energy in there. Like, yeah, okay, I don't know if I could really have something long-term and stable with this person. And then seeing this here too, that makes me think it's definitely more likely that this was actually a connection that you might have ended back around the time of Gemini, because seeing this here makes me think of the Sagittarius full moon that we would have had during the time of Gemini. So at least for some of you, that might have been when you severed ties with this person. And it could just be one of those things where now that we're going to be in Mercury retrograde in November, could be that they're coming back around, or at least the thought of them, possibly. But in the present position, we have the Justice card. So this can be saying a couple of things. This is Libra energy. And for you guys, Libra is your 10th house of career. So one way that this could be playing out could be saying that maybe this is just where you shifted your focus. That's one of those typical things that could happen, right? We end a long-term connection, or even just separate from a more, casual relationship, and then maybe just throw ourselves into work. So that could be one way it's playing out. Or another way this could be playing out is just saying that this is you, just really digging your feet in and saying, well, like I was saying, for those of you who maybe you were the ones putting in, you felt like you were putting in a lot more work than the other person and you just stopped doing that. This could be your stance now where you're like, you know what? I've put in more than enough work in the situation. They're going to have to pick up the slack now. That could be one way it's playing out. And then for a smaller percentage of you, this could even just be saying that this might even be a divorce that you're going through. And maybe it might not be with this person, for example. So maybe this is just saying that this is the energy you brought to the connection with this person, meaning that when you met them, maybe you were going through a divorce and you're still, working your way through that now. But I'd say it's probably for a smaller percentage of you, but that is something that comes to mind now, seeing the way these cards could work out. All right, in the present position on their side, they have the Hierophant, Queen of Chalices, and Queen of Wands. So there's a few different ways that I could see this playing out as well, because this is an interesting mixture of cards. So this is a Taurus energy for one. This is a Cancer energy, and this is an Aries energy. But what I see here more than anything is I see the person with the two women, right? And then there's two queens showing up here. So what this could say is that for some of you, this might just be saying that this is how this person views their love life. Like they feel like they should be able to see multiple people. And maybe that was what you realized about them in the past with that Knight of Wands energy, right? So that's where you're like, yeah, I can't really build something stable with this person. So you're like, you know what, I'm just going to cut the connection off. So that's one way it could play out, because that's what stands out to me. Seeing two queens, and then he has two women with him saying, well, I just believe that, basically that they just don't believe in monogamy. That could be one way it's playing out. On the flip side, though, another way this could be playing out too could just be saying that now that you really dug your feet in with them and said, well, I'm not putting in the work anymore. For some of you, this could just be them coming back in and actually trying to put in the work to establish a long-term connection with you. And the reason that could be the case is because Hierophant represents tradition, so it could definitely make you think of like those long-term committed relationships. And then this energy here, the Queen of Chalices, that's Cancer energy, which represents your 7th house of relationships. And then Queen of Wands represents Aries energy, which is your 4th house of home and family. So that could be them, really putting in an effort to fill those roles for you, basically. So could play out either way, but I do feel like that could definitely be what's going on for some of you. And then the future energy on your side, we have the King of Coins and the Queen of Coins. So this is actually the court card for Capricorn, and then this is the court card for Taurus. So this could be coming across a few different ways. Given that Taurus represents your 5th house, this could just be saying that, maybe you're in the spotlight in some way. Again, maybe if you've been getting progress in your career, that could be what's going on there. There is going to be a full moon in your 5th house as well, so maybe that's what this is pointing to with the Taurus energy there. But another way this could be coming across too, again, especially since we have the Libra in the present position, it could just be saying that you're very balanced right now. You're very settled. You know what you want. And that's probably how it's going to play out for most of you, I feel, where you're coming across as very settled. You know what you want. You've achieved a certain level of success. And then I feel like this person just might be a bit more scattered, quite frankly. There are that small group of you that I was saying where they might actually put in a lot of work to build something stable with you. But for a lot of you, I get more of a vibe where they're just a bit more scattered. And this could even be them putting in a genuine effort to do that. But, it just seems like their energy seems to be a bit more frenetic for some reason. That's how it's coming across to me anyway. And then the future energy is the 7 of Swords on their side. So this can represent deception. Obviously, we know that that's generally how we look at this, and often it's viewed as infidelity as well. So I do have to at least put that out there for some of you. But with this card, and in this deck in particular, this actually talks more about just needing to have patience. So So that's what I'm saying. Like for some of you, it can actually be that this person can be genuine, but it could just be one of those things where they're not settled enough yet with themselves to really be at the level of stability that you're at. So that could be a little bit of a adjustment period there where they might put in the honest effort. Like I said, for some of you, that Hierophant with the Queen of Wands and Queen of Chalices could just be saying that they're putting in the effort. They're like, okay, well, obviously Capricorn wants something more serious than what we have right now, and it's not something they're accustomed to, right? But it's like, all right, they're putting in the effort to do it, but it could just be, a bit of a bumpy ride for them, basically. So, um, you guys would have to decide if that's something you think that you could, live with in the meantime while they do try to, adjust to that, or if you feel like, all right, maybe it's just best to cut ties with them. And then I do have to mention for some of you where, like I said, this could just be pointing out that you were going through, this was actually you ending a long term commitment in the past, and this person came along suddenly, right, with that Knight of Wands energy. And this is just saying that you might have been going through the divorce process with, your previous person, and now starting to build something more stable with this person. And again, like I said, this here doesn't necessarily mean anything as negative as it does with the regular tarot deck here. It could just be saying that there's that adjustment period. So we'll see if the Oracle cards add any additional insight. But as far as the bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Princess of Cups. So this is the equivalent of the Page of Cups. And that could just be saying that maybe this is you, maybe trying to really figure them out. Like I said, maybe in the past they came across as very non-committal. So you're like, well, I don't think I could build something stable with them. But maybe again in the present, they're coming across now like, okay, they've grown, right? They're willing to put in that work. But now you're just trying to decide, all right, well, can I trust that or not? And I do have to say, if they do come back during the retrograde and act like a totally different person, I would definitely take my time and feel that out, just because of the retrograde vibes. It could be one of those things, but I do have to say, bottom of the deck on their side is the Three of Pentacles. So this is actually a Capricorn energy too, and it does usually represent building something stable. So it's a little tricky, their energy on this side, because like I said, for some of you, I feel like for some of you, even if there is a genuine effort on their part, it just might be a little difficult for them. Like I said, it might be an adjustment where maybe in the past they were this non-committal type person and maybe dating multiple people. So it's like, even if they are putting in that honest effort, it just might be an adjustment period for them. Others of you, it could definitely be what I was saying too, though, where you just found out they're non-committal and they might try to come back and act like they are, or it might even flat out tell you that they don't believe in monogamy, and then that would be you having to decide, well, is that okay with you or not? It looks like most likely you would say no, but yeah, let's see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. All right, so first we'll see if we can get some messages from the Mystic Moon Oracle deck I have here, and I did pre-shuffle it before we started recording, and the way it works is I look to see if we get any jumpers, which would show any unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And since these are just general readings, if I don't get anything after I shuffle for a while, I'll just keep it moving. But we'll see if we get anything. First, looking for unspoken messages from you to them. Oh, got one there. And then let's see if we have any from them to you now. All right, nothing coming up yet, but I'll shuffle a little longer, see if we get anything. Oh, there we go. Got two. So, all right, let's see. So on your side, nothing too particularly groundbreaking. We have You've Been in My Dreams. Could just be saying, and maybe that's even what the Princess of Cups energy is about. Or like I said, for those of you maybe you did split in the past, maybe you are reconsidering, right? Possibly getting back with them. And then on their side, we have being apart has been life changing for me. So interesting. I do have to say that does add a little bit more strength to the viewpoint. For some of them, it might be where you did cut ties with them because they were in that Knight of Wands energy where they were non-committal, right? And now maybe that has forced them into a bit of a growth process where they have realized, you know what, I need to be more serious about this connection with Capricorn, right? So to be fair, like I said, it's not going to be the case for all of you, but for some of you, that definitely adds some weight to that potential viewpoint. And then, how could you still love me after all I've done? So interesting. These could actually work together. As far as this could just be saying that, maybe there even was some infidelity, and maybe that was the issue in the past. And maybe now it's one of those things where, again, you cut ties with them with that Ten of Swords energy in the past. And this could just be saying that, it really has changed them. Now, I would still say be a little careful. It's tricky, especially given that this is Mercury retrograde month, because, like I said, I did pick up on the vibe here that for some of them there can be honest effort there. But like I said, it still just might be difficult for them. Like if this is a long-term pattern they've had, right, it could be difficult to break it, even if they're apart from you. Like, wow, I really miss Capricorn, right? I want to be back with them. It's not like they could just flip a switch. So, like I said, the Seven of Swords could just mean more of an adjustment period than anything. But we do have to also think about the traditional meaning, which can mean infidelity. So definitely, it's a lot for you to weigh out there. But let's see what the Wisdom of the Oracle deck adds to the mix. So same thing, I pre-shuffled this one before we started recording too. And I'm just looking for one card here. And then we'll wrap up. Alright, so let's see what we get. This is one of those readings where I would say definitely, depending on the sign of the person you're dealing with, definitely check their reading out too and see what's going on. Or maybe even your moon and rising sign, because, like I said, I could see it going either way, where, it could be one of those things where they'd still be up to the same non-committal stuff, but given that, being apart has been life-changing for me, it looks like for some of them there was genuine growth. It's just that you would have to, have a little adjustment period, but, it doesn't necessarily mean that they would go back to their same ways again. Just might be a little frustration with the adjustment, whereas you look pretty balanced on your side, so I don't know. Alright, still haven't gotten anything yet, but I'll shuffle a bit more. Worst case, we'll just pull a random one, because I do like to at least get one card from this deck. Alright, nothing's coming up, so here's what we'll do. I'll just pull a random one, so let me figure out, alright, let me just let's go with this one here. Alright, it says to the sea. There's the artwork and the number 7. So let's see what the message has to say. We do have the 7 there, also with the 7 of Swords, so maybe there'll be some connection, but see what it says. It says, being in flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. The Oracle's message: isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life, when events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless? This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect condition. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. So that's interesting there because that makes me think of the fact that, whereas it says going with the flow, allow trust and faith to guide you forward. That could just be the advice as far as for those of you who do plan on bringing this person back into your life to just, understand that, hey, it looks like for some of them, like I said, they probably did go through a genuine growth period by you leaving them behind. It made them realize, okay, I need to get my act together. But just understand it might not be the smoothest transition, right? So you might have to just go with the flow and let things work themselves out in that regard. All right, the relationship message says there are points in a relationship when you have to decide to go with the flow rather than dictate the course you share with another. Can you let go of the need to have things your way and allow the relationship itself, your combined goals and desires to steer the ship? Can you both transcend your personalities and allow the partnership to form its own identity, its own energy? Now is the time to relax and see where this mutual journey leads. So, interesting message there. And like I said, that definitely seems to be what it would be, where for at least some of you, there is that genuine growth that they have gone through, but don't expect it to be like the smoothest ride just yet. Like I said, especially with that Seven of Swords in the future, could just be saying that it's still an adjustment period for them. And so, like I said, it'll be up to you guys to as to whether you feel you could go through with that or not. But hopefully that gave you guys some good insight there. We'll wrap up, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.